Oh, what's up? What's up, home service happy hour? Why is my left ear not working? What are we doing here? Oh, there we go. It helps if you plug in your headphones or whatever. We are live. Happy Wednesday night. I thought there's another chair here because my guest lives in my house. This is my wife. This is gonna be a super fun episode. But this is just how like being married with 3 little kids goes. The minute we jumped on here to like actually make the show, one of our daughters was like, "Hey mom, I thought you were gonna read me a chapter book. You're supposed to read me a chapter." And then Marti, being the awesome mom that she is, she was like, "I better go read my kid a chapter." Oh, I gotta hit live on the Instagram. So she dipped out to go read a chapter, and I was like, "Oh, I'll wait for you." And I was like, "No." Because that's not what being married and running a business and having a podcast and doing all the shit that we all do. That's not how it goes. It goes like this. We're like, we're going to go do this thing. And then you're like, oh, just kidding. It didn't go exactly as planned. And that is running a business. And that is making a podcast. And that is having guests on. And that is being married. It's all part of it. So enjoy the ride, baby. But I figured I'd get started anyway. And let you guys have a minute to join in. So hopefully jump on in. As you jump in, throw a comment in. But let me ask you this. Go to Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page or the Home Service Happy Hour YouTube channel. Or LinkedIn, I think works. And if you're going to post or comment or whatever, do it there. If you're watching on my personal Damn Platta Facebook feed, go over to Best Damn Bookkeeping's Facebook page and participate from there. Facebook and StreamYard changed their stuff where from a personal page, it won't drop into the comment section. So I can't like put it on and interact with it the same. I am going to pull up my personal Facebook page just so I can see us out there. And if somebody's watching on there, we'll be able to like catch it. I just won't be able to, share it and do that sort of cool thing. But as you guys, I see people jumping on in here, go over to Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page, drop a comment in, let me know if you're out there. This is kind of embarrassing for a Platta. This is the last beer in my house. So I threw it in Rob Anderson's clean power wash. This koozies gotten a lot of use. You can tell because of the way that it is. This is the last beer that I had. So I got a little cocktail tonight. Marti's on this health kick. I don't really know what this is, but I think she's having a protein shake. I think we're doing protein shake night. We'll talk all about that and like the exercise component of like how you do that when you're married with little kids and owning businesses and running businesses. But chime on in. Where are you guys at? Who's out there? Who's checking in? It's Kathy Merchant's in the house. What's up, Kathy? I haven't seen you since CBF Live, I think. Hope you're doing well out in Michigan. I get my wife. If you're just tuning in, my wife had to dip out. This is like supposed to be her and I. Like, if you're married and you got a business and little kids, you probably get this. I'm pretty sure this is a date. Like, I think this is a date, you guys. I think we're having a date night because the kids will be in bed and it'll be her and I, and like you guys too. You can be on our date too. You'll just be somewhere else. But like, I think this counts as a date. Am I wrong? I think it's a date. I'm calling it a date. That makes me feel better about myself and, life. But what are you guys doing? Where are you at? What are you working on? What are you up to out there while we wait for Marti? She's in the house now. I was actually wearing a different shirt, but I got in here and Marti's wearing a Best Damn Bookkeeping shirt. And then I was like, oh, I got to like put on my uniform because if she's going to wear a Best Damn Bookkeeping shirt. Oh, I got cords all tangled up here. Hey, welcome to the show. I started without you.
Hey, thanks.
I thought it was appropriate that especially for this episode, like we'd start and then you were just busy being a mom and having to read a chapter. What'd you read?
When you promise your child you're going to read them a chapter of Dog Man, you must follow through. It is life or death.
Dog Man. What
a terrible book, a terrible series.
Dog Man is entertaining.
I think if you're 7 and can read it yourself.
Maybe I'm 7 because I think reading Dog Man's a hoot. Kathy, I see you out there. Kathy says, hey there, Dan. Jason Hefner checking in. What's up, Jason? Before you came in, I said, I'm pretty sure this is a date. Like, according to the rules of dating, as far as I'm concerned, this is a date.
This is as close as we've gotten to a date in a while, except for Can Wonderland mini golf.
That was a good date.
That was a good date.
Fun.
But before that,
arcade games, mini golf. Hey, Jason and Kathy, if you can, jump over to the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page and drop your comments there so I don't have to try to read it on my phone. Facebook changed the rules like they do, and I can't, if it's on my personal page, I can't share it on the feed here. So you got to go put it in the Best Damn Bookkeeping like company page because we're live there too. Or you can do LinkedIn, which Andy Mashura said earlier is the only social media that matters. LinkedIn. Marty probably agrees with that because she's in the corporate world. Or the Home Service Happy Hour YouTube channel. You can go in there and comment too. We're live there as well. But if you post on my personal page, I'm the only person that can see it. And I can't share it and have fun with it. Jason says, Kathy said it is a date. She confirmed that I am not mistaken. And we're having a date right now. So happy date night. Jason said, yes, got to get time together when you can. Kids in business really stress free time. Yes, following through on promises shows them to follow through on their word. So good job, Mom.
I like it.
Way to go. And we're podcasting. Skip's in the house. He said, here, wouldn't miss this episode. And my boss gave me the night off.
What a nice boss you have, Skip.
I don't know whose boss is. I thought I declared in my last company meeting that we have no bosses. We just have leaders.
I was going to say, I thought Skip was the boss.
As far as I'm concerned, Skip is in charge. I just sell some stuff and talk to people and make podcasts. But no, I don't think you've been on in the last 2 years since we started Best Damn Bookkeeping.
I don't remember the last time I was on.
You basically just have a nice shirt and a really distracted, goofy husband. You got both of those going for you.
At least I have the merch.
Look at Jason. Jason, you're the best process honoring, instruction following dude I know. Kathy didn't miss a beat though. Kathy just jumped right over here. She's in the house. Skip, Kathy misses you. Don't tell him that, Kathy. Don't tell him that. Then we're gonna have to put up with them in the company meetings and be like, remember, Kathy, she misses me. Skip said I meant the till death do us part boss. That's the boss. Everybody knows Marty's in charge. We got copious collections. We got Sarah in the house as we're both watching. Skip and I are making it a double date night. Yeah, double date. Jason, Jason says, just so you guys know, Florida was 91 degrees today. Jason, just so you know, Saturday, it was 92 here, according to my truck. And I don't know why, besides that we're a couple distracted adults with 3 little kids and a business and all kinds of other stuff going on, our pool is still open. Usually in Minnesota, the pool's closed like early September because you just wouldn't swim after Labor Day because the highs are like in the 60s or 70s. There's no point in our pool's heated, but you'd have to pay $1 billion to heat it. It's been freakishly hot in these stretches, and we had the pool cranked up. We're swimming this weekend. The weird thing is you kind of got to swim from like 10 to 2 because it's dark by like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And so like normally when you're like pool time, it's like, oh, it's getting dark and the sun's not out and, 92 doesn't feel the same. Kathy did Skip. You're just gonna like Skip's just in heaven right now, Kathy. You're like making his year. Said he's the best. She also said, oh, hush, Jason, it's 60 here. But Kathy, it is here too. But I think you guys got some of the warm weather we had over the weekend, probably. Frost in Michigan tonight, though, folks. It's frosted. I think we're 51 here right now, and it was 33 this morning when I got up. So 'tis the season. But I was saying, Marty and I think we did one episode like this, but it was back when I was at Blue Skies, and it was like we were 5-6 years into that journey, but it was our first entrepreneurial journey. I had business partners in a way more complicated business. We had 100 employees. We had all these locations. And not only was I traveling for conferences and hunting and fishing stuff, I was traveling to locations and putting out fires and like wearing too many hats. And it was like a crusade. It felt like, in hindsight, it felt like a bit of a crusade where I was like, no, we're just going to do it. We're just going to push through. And I'm like, I have my own. Oh, shit. Jai is in the house.
Hi, Jai.
Jai is in the house. What's up, Jai guy? For those that don't know, That's my producer. He's watching, taking notes on what he's going to cut out of the stupid stuff Dan says is probably what he's doing. He's like, oh, cut that out. And he says, meanwhile, it's still hot here in the Philippines. I was in the Philippines in their winter when it was 90 some degrees because that was the winter. Jai, does it ever change? Does it get hotter? Like you're going into the summer now. Is it going to get hotter or is it just always kind of summer when you like live in the tropics? I honestly don't even know. But we haven't done this type of podcast. We changed course pretty abruptly and now we have our own business 100% and life is crazy. But I'm curious, there's a question somewhere in here, but it's like a 4-parter. Surprise, surprise. Give us like the run, like think back to the Blue Skies days. Before I ask the question, actually, let me preface with this because I say this on the podcast a lot to you guys, which is I kind of tricked Marty. And I don't like, she puts up with all my hunting and fishing trips, but she can't blame me for that. She can't be like, what is this? You didn't tell me about this. Like when we got married, you knew I hunted and fished all the time. And that was like a huge priority for me. So that hasn't changed. But she can hold it against me because I do it a lot, but she can't hold it that much against me. If you know what I mean? She kind of knew she was getting into that, but she thought she was marrying a dude to the corporate job and like, you know, the 9 to 5, we all know it's not actually that. But I duped her because then I went and started running small businesses. And if you're a small business owner, I don't even need to say anything else because you all know how chaotic that is. And I think my turkey hat, I put these turkey fans up behind me and I don't know if I'm an angel or if I'm a Thanksgiving turkey or if I just got a wig or what it is, but it looks really funny how centered my head is on this turkey fan. I digress, you know, ADD business owner here. But I duped you on the small business owner thing, but now that was 2016. We're almost 10 years into this journey. Give us like a high level synopsis of, is it like a you asshole or, hey, that's neat, or like, hey, way to go. Like that was a great move. I'm curious, like your overall judgment of the small business journey over the last decade. And then like go back in time to how you felt about it in the Blue Skies days and your emotional, like a chronological emotional progression to where we are now.
Well, I have to say I was duped twice. The first time was when you quit corporate world to become a small business owner.
Okay.
Because that was very much change of expectations. The second is when we had made the agreement saying, hey, Marty, he was in the corporate job at the time. He said, you go back to business school for 2 years. I'll pay the bills for 2 years. He was so kind. I'll pay the bills for 2 years.
I did.
You go back to business school, go full time. You know, we'll make it work. And then when you get your big corporate job at the end, I'll take 2 years off and be an entrepreneur for 2 years. And I was like, cool. That sounds like a fair trade. That was 2014, folks, that I went to business school, graduated in 2016. So
2016, I started doing business ownership stuff. 2018.
Plus 7.
But can I defend myself?
Please.
So 2018 was when I took on my first external bookkeeping client. And I think that was the point of my small business journey. And I continued to run home service companies, window cleaning, pressure washing, maid services. I think we sold the last one in like 2023. But 2018, I also started a bookkeeping business. And that started a trajectory that I think, I don't think it was 2 years. I think I said, like, if I haven't figured this out in 5 years, I'm going back to the corporate world. I think I gave myself a 5-year runway.
I don't recall.
I might not have told you that. That might have been a different.
You get 2 years. I get 2 years. Sounded like a fair trade.
Oh, okay. My bad. Like I thought in my mind it was 5.
Well,
if you've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, they count 1, 2, 5. Right? Anybody with me? Anybody seen Monty Python?
Skip
said that is 2 in beer years.
So.
That it is actually very similar, which is if I say I'm going to the bar for a couple beers, it's probably 9.
True. So I was just using the wrong.
Yeah,
I was using girl math.
Your conversion,
math.
Your conversion rate was bad. Like when you say, "All right, one more beer," like that's probably a handful more beers.
The other thing I'll say is you started the window washing and pressure washing business, and we're working with Blue Skies on that. And then you started maid service, which was a whole new starting from scratch. And then shortly thereafter, you started paid bookkeeping services. So that was a whole nother business starting from scratch. So little did I know, not only was I transitioning, or you were moving from being a corporate guy to a small business guy, but you were going to be the small business guy that started a new business every 2 years.
That was a surprise to me too. I did. One quick note. There's a bunch of people watching on my personal Facebook page. Cole Sycophus, you said some funny stuff. Mike Maharis, you said some funny stuff. Go over to the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page and watch over there and comment over there. Facebook changed it so I can't show your comments if you comment on my personal. It's got to be in the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook group. It's got to be a business Facebook page. I think it's a Facebook rule anyway. Or LinkedIn, Andy Mashura's favorite social media, or Home Service Happy Hour YouTube channel. So jump over there and then drop your comments in so I can put them on the screen. We laugh about them. But I'm going to read them. Cole said, your head looks like it's in full strut with the turkey fan behind it. Like, woo! Okay. Anyway, Kathy Skip says, hope you're doing well. Always here if you need us. Mike Maher said, best damn wife that stands behind the BDB. But what stage of business purgatory are you currently in? I am in 3. But we know what to do. We know what to do. We're so in 3, Mike, that we chose to switch CRMs this month. Thank God for Skip. We chose to like do that thing. Like right at like the $1 million pace. We're just going. We're going for it. We're full send. We're running the 2-minute drill in the first quarter. We're just going. We're going hard. Vicky's in the house. Vicky Pitts. Oh, I like your Facebook picture there with all the pups. Vicky. It says best sidekick. There's Mike. Mike's in here now. Trevin in the house. What's up, Trevin? I hope you got big bucks running around, man. Give me a shout, dude. Give me a shout. Give me a shout. We'll talk 50 minutes of deer hunting stuff and then like 10 minutes of business. Jai said, ha ha ha, 2018 plus 7 years pretty much sums it up, Dan. Hey, if you're going to hire somebody to do your books and accounting, you want them to find all the nooks and crannies, right? You want them to be just a creative accountant, not just a total by the book person. So, that's me being, not exactly by the book. Just, you got to make the math work for you, right? What did I miss? Jason Hefner had one up here that I missed. Said, where's a good no kids vacation destination for a couple days? Andrew is 16. He can survive off pizza and water till we get back.
Sounds lovely.
Marty and I have done a couple. We did honeymoon in Costa Rica, and then we went to Mazatlan, and both times we did an all-inclusive, and two adults at like an adult-only all-inclusive. I don't know destinations all over the world. If you do, like, for cost effectiveness, Central America is good, just in general. But over by the Philippines, is it Bali? There's a couple places over there. I would love
to go, never been.
There's a couple places over that are ridiculously gorgeous and ridiculously cost effective. So scope it out. Kathy Merchant, you guys are bringing it. I'm reading it. Here we go. Kathy says, LOL, I told my husband he'd never make it through our first season. 10 years later, he's my rock in this crazy business world. You couldn't do it without her. You are so freaking right. So right. I'm trying to buy her gear and be like, Marty, I need your help. Can you, like, she's like, I'm kind of smart with numbers and stuff. She's like actually a genius and she's marketing. And so she's like, I just want her help. She just tell me what to do. I just need her to tell me what to do, folks. We'd be crushing it. Skip says, time to see our hump grade perfect while Dan was on a few trips. That's actually, like, ha, ha, ha. But it's probably true because all I'm going to do is jump in and be like, hey, guys, let me throw 12 ideas at you and distract the hell out of you while you're trying to actually do work and keep things organized. So it probably helped that I was gone a couple times there. Trevin says, hunting season is in. I'm over the business stuff. That's like, I know a lot of you guys are like in businesses where you get busy in the fall. And I'm not telling you to get out of those businesses, but that is one of the biggest values of scaling your business if you are an outdoors person. Because if you like doing any sort of hunting, even fishing, like the fall is go time. And a lot of people are getting into lighting, but it like creates this conflict of hobby versus business, which, you know, we're small business owners, kind of do everything all at once. But you do get conflicted. All right, back to the show.
All right.
This is podcasting.
I love it. ADD podcasting.
Yeah.
I think part of the journey for you doing like moving from corporate to Blue Skies window washing, and then moving into maid service, and then moving to bookkeeping with Blue Skies, was just I don't want to say uncertainty, but like you never know what your day is going to bring. Not only are you running the day-to-day business, but then you're also figuring out how you're going to make the business grow and grow the business at a macro level. And that was something that I hadn't experienced really firsthand before. It was either you're doing the business, like you're doing the job, or you're running the business. But to see you go through doing both, and then again, when you started Best Damn Bookkeeping, has been so enlightening for me. And I think seeing you go through it with Best Damn Bookkeeping has been really fun, especially since I've seen you do it several other times with several other startups.
So you're like, are you saying I suck less at it now?
Well, you have more confidence, and the uncertainty is less uncertain because it's certain that there's going to be uncertainty.
Yeah. That's a really good way to put it. It's certainty that there's going to be less, or that there's going to be uncertainty.
Yes. So
still
it's less
the same
scary.
amount. Yeah, still the same amount of uncertainty, but now it's easier to just roll with it.
Yes. And
like
I think by the time you've started, now you're starting your fourth, I call it fourth, however you want to count it, fourth business. You're like, okay, I know I can do this. I have the skills. I have that. You've always known and you've always been confident, but you have the proof points for it. So you can lean in and try some different things that maybe you wouldn't have the first time around.
I think I agree with you. And it's also refreshing when you don't have, like, my business partners were great, but you still have somebody else to answer to. And like the core values, I tried to rewrite our core values at Blue Skies, but I did notice it always felt like I was running somebody else's business, and it couldn't quite hit my core values. And I won't blame my business partners for me. That was like a guilt on myself. And maybe a lack of confidence of like,
yeah.
I always felt like I was doing somebody else's thing, and this conflict of interest. And so there's a reason why I put a beer mug in here, and I went like full on Dan Platta with Best Damn Bookkeeping. It's just got to be me, and it can't be somebody else's thing. It can't be somebody else's core values. And from the recruiting to the customers that we serve to like how we serve them, and this podcast, like everything, if I'm going to do it and take all the risks, like got to have as much fun as possible. And I think I've done that.
Absolutely.
I'm still always a journey, but
I think that was part of your four-part question. But I think it's fantastic how much you've leaned into your brand and yourself, and made the business yours this time around. I think I work in the corporate world, and it's really hard to do. You have to get a whole team of 35 people or 85 people all on the same page to make a change. And so to see you be able to do things on a moment's notice, I'm going to order merch tomorrow. I'm going to plan a new logo today. I'm going to change my podcast title tomorrow.
That doesn't sound like half the stuff that I do, because in between those is like there's a cold front coming tomorrow. So I think I'll take my daughter out hunting, and then next week it looks like it's going to warm up. Maybe I'll go fishing.
But from the tree, I can figure out what my logo is going to look like.
That's true.
Get back to clients.
No, and I think
make it happen.
Yeah. Well, and then and you have the freedom to make it happen. I think there's always an inflection point, right, that tips the scales. And I think that happens. Maharis chimed in, and I see Ashley's in here. I see Nicole's in here. Katie's in here. If you guys want to throw a comment in, again, and I've said this a few times, Kurt Steckling in the house. What's up, Kurt? If you're watching on my personal Facebook page, go over to the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page, because I can't share comments from my personal feed, just Facebook, StreamYard, whatever they do. So drop comments into the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page, because then I can like show them on the screen and interact with them. Grandpa Martin's on the
my dad's in the house.
Grandpa's in the house on what are we looking at? What's this? Instagram. Yeah, the gram. But there's these inflection points that we go through, and in hindsight, what I'm doing right now, I should have done right when I left the corporate world. Like if I could do it all over again, if you just like wash it clean and do it all over again. When I started at Blue Skies, like this is what I was helping with since like 2010. Back in 2010, 2011, as Mike Dalkey and I were like brainstorming on business stuff, I was helping him with bookkeeping. I got distracted running home service businesses from 2016 to like 2022, 2023. Learned a ton, so I don't regret any of it. But really, like the path I started on was helping with bookkeeping. And I hit this inflection point where I went, oh shit, this isn't like I'm doing something that is not my purpose. And you have to go through this sucky phase. For me, that like there was a sucky phase of when we were running Blue Skies, and I don't know if this was like the dumps. It was endearing. Maybe there was a time that you and I went cleaning on Christmas Eve, and you were pregnant with Reggie, maybe.
Yep.
And like cleaners called in, and like Marty said, you're running the business one day and then you're out cleaning the next day, and it's Christmas and people want their house clean, and we were out cleaning. I think it was either like Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve, and we were cleaning a house, and I was 6 months pregnant, like clearly very pregnant.
Yeah, and you're just like doing what you need to do, but it's like, oh dang, like I don't know if this is what I signed up for, but now I'm here, and so I don't have a choice but to like grind through it. And so we kept grinding.
The houses had to get cleaned.
They had to get cleaned, and I hit another inflection point. I'm gonna like hit. Harris talked about the purgatories earlier, and so I'm just gonna like hit on a few of mine where I got punched in the face by my own, like because I took things too far and didn't pick my head up enough to like see what was happening. When we sold our Minneapolis maid service business, I had like a key employee quit on me, and we had 100 employees around the country, and I'm like out scrubbing toilets when somebody called in, right? And we had 7 different businesses. And like in that moment, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I this is just, it was a terrible strategy that I'd got myself into. And I was just like, my mentality. And I think this is just like a crutch of mine, or a Achilles heel of mine is just put my head down and go. Like, and I will just keep, I will harder. Solve it by just working harder and figuring it out. And then eventually I was just like, what the hell, like picked my head up. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I just keep beating my head against this wall. And we sold that business so we could focus on growing everything else, and sold that business, and then started doing bookkeeping for people. Like not by intent, right? It was kind of by accident, but it like freed up the space. Started doing that. And eventually another inflection point was, I don't know if this like struck home for you as much. I don't know that you and I have ever talked about this. Good thing we're having a date night tonight. I went from a BBB mastermind event to CBF Live, but right before I went to BBB, and so that was like back-to-back weeks of travel. Right before I went to BBB, Terry resigned in St. Louis. And so then a third week in a row, I had to travel to go, like my GM was leaving, and I was super happy for her. It was like a dream job that she wanted. It wasn't like, Dan, this sucks, I'm out of here. It was like, hey, I got my dream job. And so we were trying to figure that out, but I was traveling 2 weeks in a row. I just had too many irons in the fire. And I missed my 4-year-old's birthday. I missed Reggie's birthday. And Marty will vouch for this. I'm not a 4-year-old birthday party sort of dude. Like, it's just not my jam, but it's different when it's your kids. Like, I just had to look in the mirror and be like, oh shit, I'm the dad that just traveled 3 weeks in a row and missed their kid's birthday. And I remember calling my business partner. I was like, I'm ready to sell everything. I'm out besides the bookkeeping and the recruiting and the admin stuff. Like, I can do that and I can handle that travel and that workload, but I'm out on everything else. I'm out on having 100 employees around the country. I'm not the right person. We either got to sell them or find somebody else to run them. It ain't for me. That was a big time inflection point. The last one was maybe the worst one. And it was the worst because it was a divorce, was exiting Blue Skies, and people got burned that were outside of it. Customers got burned, employees got burned. And that sucks when you have negative these externalities that are out of your control, but they're still your fault, right? Like ultimately you have the ownership of them and they're still your fault because you put your head down and you just kept going without like thinking about the consequences. And I put my head down and I grew this bookkeeping business, and we were figuring things out and we were working on things, but we had 20 some people on the team. We had 300 clients. And I realized, oh shit, I just grew a great business. Still needed work, right? Like every business does, but I owned 13% of it. And I had good dudes as business partners, but they were investors. They weren't involved in the business at all. And so I said, hey, I got to like buy this business, but they didn't want to sell it to me. They wanted to keep it. And 3 months, I'm curious your perspective on like the 3 months from like that spring until basically Labor Day. Oh, what happened? The background wind. Where are we? Oh, Jai's in the house. Jai's doing stuff. Producer man Jai's in the background. He's probably doing technology stuff. But like professionally, those were the 3 worst months of my life because I saw customers kind of getting hosed, which was a issue that I created because my team didn't know how to solve their problems. And they still blame me till this day for that. And it sucks, but like, I think it's fair. It's still my fault that they got caught in a trap of like lack of processes and issues with what I had taught the team and how to solve these problems. And I legally was handcuffed. I couldn't help. I couldn't do anything. I'm just there. And I legally couldn't. Oh, he changes the name to Marti and Damn Platta.
Aww.
Thanks, Jai. You the man, producer man, Jai. The Jisis. We call him Jisis when he does this because he's just behind. He's just making things happen. But that, bam, boom, pow, he's look at him. He's doing producer stuff. And it was just awful because it's like, I can't help. I can't start a new thing to help. I just, and like, no offense to lawyers out there. I worked with the lawyer through the process. And I refer him to everybody. He's probably sick. Dan Waters out in Omaha. If you don't need him, but you need a lawyer. If you don't know him, but you need a lawyer, call Dan Waters in Omaha. If you can't find him, let me know. I'll introduce you. He's like I said, he's probably sick of me sending him people. But he was so level-headed. He wasn't lawyery at all. He was just such a good human and like helped me navigate that. But it still sucked. Like, and like you actually have this skill set, maybe even more than I do. I'm a fucking good sleeper, y'all. Like if I want to go to bed, it is a skill set. And if you're good at sleeping, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not good, you're jealous because you're like, damn, I wish I could sleep good. And I'm good at sleeping. You're somehow better. Last night, you fell asleep in about 0.2 seconds and you were dreaming and you're smacking me and you were cold. So you wanted to cuddle with me. And I was like, you're cuddling, but you keep elbowing me like in your dream. And it was like 5 seconds since you would fall asleep. Like you're the best. I'm the second best sleeper. She's the best. I'm really good. Okay. But that summer I laid awake so many nights and it was so frustrating because I couldn't do anything. All I could do was think. I could think about the issues that I was having with my partners that I was trying to exit. And that was really frustrating because relationships are so important to me. I was thinking about the customers that weren't getting what they needed and I couldn't do anything to help. And I was thinking about my new business and like how I couldn't wait to get started, but like all I can do is dream it. Like I can't legally start something because I have this fiduciary responsibility. And the blessing in disguise was I had a whole summer where I just got to spend a lot of time with my kids, taking them to camps and doing stuff and like early pickup, and we're out playing and we're out fishing. And so that was cool, but it was just drowned out by like anxiety. Like when people say they're anxious, I know like that is my reflection of like, I know what that feels like. I could not sleep. I was so anxious about lawyery stuff and getting sued and like couldn't help people and the issues customers were having. And my hands are tied and I can't help, but it's still a reflection of me because I built this thing. And the minute I left, I always would tell people like, it feels like I built a boat and then I turned away and I looked back and I see water flying out of it. And I realized I was in there just like plugging all these freaking holes. And now everybody's sinking on that boat. And I was like, oh no, but I'm way on shore. and there's a rip current and I can't get out to the boat. Is what it felt like. Sucked. But that was a lot of me talking.
That was a hard summer.
You had to live with me.
That was a hard summer. I think, a lot of what you do is, well, it was a hard summer for you. And then, I can do what you do. You just put your head down and you execute day by day. Figure out what needs to get done to get through the day and see where you end up. But I do the blessing and the blessing of it was the same year I switched jobs. Still within my company, but I took on a new job that summer. And so I was working a ton trying to get myself up to speed in that new business. And
I think I was so distracted. I don't even remember you doing that.
But you had more free time, quote, because you couldn't work on either business. And so it was a really nice summer because you were able to do more with the kids. You were able to go fishing and pack lunches.
I remember we were
do things like
we
that.
signed them up for a lot of camps, and maybe they were just in a lot of camps because I had nothing else to do but sign them up for camps.
Run them around at camps.
I was camping. I was just camp dad. I was crushing it. Jai must still be here because somebody, the Jisis just threw a comment in here. Jeremy Brooks says, do you still have conflicts of interest with your current business partners? Is it different this time around? I mean, only conflicts of interest, Jeremy, because we're competitors, but we're friendly about it, right? Andy Mashur was a competitor of mine, and eventually we bought his business. We merged together, and now he runs the whole thing, right? So I have no issues with competitors whatsoever. I think it's awesome when you have other good companies out there to compete with, right? It makes you better. And so many of the best business owners I know are friends with their competitors. In the small business space, I think it's so meaningful because we're all just helping each other get better. So not a conflict of interest in that sort of way. But when I was trying to leave, it was a conflict of interest because we're trying to negotiate a value, right? And it's I can't grow that business, but I can't start a new one. And so you're just stuck in the mud and you're trying to amicably separate, but everybody feels like they're getting screwed over. So there's a ton of animosity, right? It's in that period, and it takes some time to get over that. It is a divorce, and everybody says that about partnerships. It's the only ship that, doesn't float is a partnership. The only ship that's guaranteed to sink. And it sucks when it ends. I get why people say that, because you have this destiny that you think you're on, this journey you think you're on. And when it starts to fall apart, it's just miserable. It is the most miserable professional experience I've ever had. And that's not to say my old business partners are shitty people. They're not bad humans. They had different interests than mine. I'm not money motivated. They're investors. They're obviously money motivated. And so the decisions they wanted to make versus the decisions I wanted to make were different. That doesn't make them bad people, right? But eventually you find this, you just have a difference of values, and you got to figure that stuff out. And it gets tough in a partnership, no doubt. I see some comments in my personal feed, so I'm just going to hit a couple of them and remind folks, drop your comments in the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page, because then they're on the screen. Jai can post them. I can post them. What usually happens is Jai and I try to post the same thing at the same time, and then we cancel each other out. It's a double negative, and then it disappears, and we're like, oh, I saw it, and then we just know what's going on. Tammy, this is so true from Tammy. And if any of you clients that are out there watching, you've probably seen this when my kids are around. Tammy said, I've seen him rock a client's Zoom call with a sick kid and refilling strawberry milk 3 times. LOL. It's so never skipped a beat being the BDB. You guys know, right? So many of you business owners out there have kids. It's you have to do everything all at once. It's a requirement of being a small business owner, is you have to be able to clean and do marketing and do recruiting and look at your next liability insurance schedule, whatever contract, all at the same time. You wear all the hats. And that's awesome. And if you don't like that, you probably shouldn't own a small business, because that's a big part of the journey, and it's super fun. But it's demanding. It's super demanding. I'm curious, Rob, get off of Instagram and I see Rob commenting on my Instagram. Get over to the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page. Rob says, hey, where's my link to join? He said, how dare you choose Marty over me? Y'all are great. Thanks, Rob. I love you, man. You're the dude, man.
Rob, you get dates with Dan, I don't know, 3 times a month, I think. So I get one.
I saw I don't know how far behind I am on my phone comments, which is why you guys need to go to the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page and comment. But Jai, a while back, said, I'm jumping on. Don't mind me. But Jai, you need to get in the Best Damn Bookkeeping page and comment that so that we can see it.
I'm already here.
Yeah, I know. There he is. Jason. Like, you're like, where is he? Where is he? He's here. What else? Kathy had to dip. Good to hear from you, Kathy. Thanks for jumping in. Let me see. What did we miss here? I got to catch up. Jason had a comment. How many of your businesses slow down, shut down in the winter? Florida, it's always season. There is no downtime. I'm gonna speak for this for the northern half of the country, which is in general, there's a massive slowdown to a complete shutdown. December, January, February, sometimes into March. It depends how much water you're using, right? If you're pressure washing in your way north and you're not on one of the coasts, it can be like November through April sometimes. It's so weather dependent. Even, and I think this is good to know, is like, and you maid service people will probably agree, most maid service companies think they're going out of business in January and February. Like the reason we got into maid service and we had all of our exterior cleaning was because we were like, oh, cash flow cycle, this will spread it out. We'll have work to do all year. Like we just got another business with a problem in January, February, which is, especially if you're in the north, you get snowbirds. Like a lot of your clients pause for a couple months. Sales go down to a ridiculous level because people are in their house, so they just clean it versus they're not as busy as they are in like spring, summer, fall with other activities. So like in the winter, they don't tend to be shopping. Like the lead flow slows way down and your attrition naturally goes up because people get through the holidays. During the holidays, they're too distracted. They might want one-time cleans, but they don't want recurring cleaning, which is generally what you want as a maid service company. And then you get into January and February and they're paying the credit card bills of all the presents. And so they cancel your service because they're like, money's tight. What's expendable? Maid service is expendable. We didn't know that until we got into maid services, but we were in Minneapolis, Portland, Oregon, Cleveland, Ohio, St. Louis, Cincinnati. We did end up with one in Tampa, but we bailed on it once we realized like we have a really shitty strategy going here. But all of them kind of had a negative winter impact and like cash flow was tough. I don't know if you remember this.
When you have that many businesses and people, payroll.
I don't remember if it was the first spring. So you got hired by 3M in September, and like right after Labor Day, that was when I left Cargill and started doing the Blue Skies thing. I don't know if it was that spring or the spring after, but shit got real when I was like, Marty, I got to go write a $20,000 check to our business so we can make payroll in March.
I remember that.
That was real. It was like, oh, like, and
what did I sign up for? Did not sign up for that.
It was just 2 years though.
Just 2 years.
But that was in the first 2 years. Hey,
now I get it though.
It was debt. We got paid back with 8% interest, so it's fine. It's fine. I said I feel like Dan's more in his groove with BDB, not biased, just an observation. Jai, I think you're right, but only because it's just me. I mean, it's not just me. I have 20 people on our team and they're awesome. It's actually less of me, but I think that frees me. It's less of me doing the work, more of me doing this sort of stuff, right? Creating the growth, creating the brand, the personality. There's people way better than me at doing the actual work. I'm good at doing the CFO stuff and talking to people and consulting with people and coaching people. I am not the best bookkeeper, way too distracted. You want like somebody that's actually process oriented. I'm okay at account managing, but I'm still not reliable. I get distracted way too easily and moving and grooving. So I think it just enables me.
But I feel like you're much more happier in this kind of role than way before you were in Blue Skies.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I would agree, but it's, you know how when you take any like personality thing, whatever, like there's Myers-Briggs, there's all these different personality assessments. I always question them because I'm like, I am the worst person to fill this out about myself. I'm just going to fill out, like, we all know what it's doing. And so you fill it out to get the answers that you want, right? To support your own thesis and hypothesis of yourself. I think those things are like kind of bullshit. I think you all should fill one out for me. Like, who do you think I am? Because that's really who I am, right? Like that's valuable. But so I appreciate you guys saying that, because I think so, but it means a lot if you guys think so, because you're the ones that are stuck with me if I'm miserable and shitty. It's you guys are the ones that have to deal with it. I'm just out here doing me.
That's the other thing about this whole journey is when people say, "Oh, how's his business? How's he doing?" Well, the business is doing well, but I'm like, he's just so happy. Like, he's so, like, you wouldn't trade that for anything.
No.
So, it's been a journey, and there've definitely been ups and downs, but to be where you are, running your own business, working with people you like to work with, building friendships across the country, across the world, helping business owners make their businesses better, and doing it all so authentically, I think is rare. I
think I mentioned this, Jai, correct me if I'm wrong, Jisis, since you're back there somewhere. I think I mentioned this on the radio show today, but Keith Kalfas, like, this is back when I was at Blue Skies, but when I had started the Bookkeeping Beer and BS podcast that Jai and I built, Keith had said, "Be yourself with the microphone turned all the way up." And I like that initially applied to me on the podcast. And then as I started like looking at the journey of this business, that was like in the back of my mind, a big catalyst for when I was like, I need to go do this myself, because I am not myself with the microphone turned all the way up. I'm somebody else's operator. Yeah. Like 3 dudes owned 87% of me, and everybody this was so obvious in hindsight, but at the time it didn't strike. Like, I would defend it. Everybody would say, "Oh, I thought you were Blue Skies. Like, I thought that was yours." And I was like, "Well, I do run it. I only own 13% of it," but everybody's like, "Oh, I thought that was you." And I was like, I'm here and I get to make the decisions, but I'm ultimately making other people money. And one of the funny traps I ran into is, again, I don't remember if we had this conversation.
That's what I thought too when we were starting. Like, I thought you owned Blue Skies. Yeah.
I own part of it. Does that count?
13%.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it started as like 3, and then it was 5, and then it was 7. Like, I kept buying little increments, but as I grew it, I kept making it more expensive. I just felt like I was chasing my tail. And that was like, especially as bookkeeping grew, I went, "Oh shit, like, I'm never going to be able to afford to own this. Like, I have to leave and restart this thing." And again, it was like one of the defining reasons why I left corporate America. I had a lot of fun in corporate America. Yeah. Granted, I had awesome teammates. I had awesome leaders. We had a lot of fun, but I left in large part because this is another like Achilles heel. And you probably watch me do this with my parents too, is I don't like making other people money. It's a different vibe with like family, but I like to do my own stuff. I don't like to do other people's stuff, even if it means I make less, even if it means I get less. Like, I don't want what you have. I want to create my own stuff. And that's like super important to me. And I know that it leaves me worse off. If you judge better off versus worse off as a financial thing, it leaves me worse off financially. But it means more to me like in here. And again, I'm not super money motivated. It probably helps that Marti has a good paying job. So I just don't, she like makes all the money in our family, which is great. Super cool. Love that. Sugar mama. Thank you. But also, like, it's really important to me that's like, being a good person has nothing to do with how much money you make. Being successful has nothing to do with how much money you make. And people go like right at that. Like, that's what defines success. What's way more important to me is that if you guys look at me and say, "I know Dan, and this is my feelings about Dan," that you say, "Dan's always happy. Dan's positive. Dan's having fun. He's bringing me along. He's enabling, and he's teaching, and he's like creating a positive environment." I don't give a fuck if I make any money if I'm doing that. Like, we need money to pay bills, and there's like a threshold of that, obviously, but it's so much more important to me that I'm doing those things, and it doesn't feel the same to me if I'm doing them for somebody else, unless it's Marti. Like, there's differences, right? But like in the job, that was like a defining characteristic of why I left the corporate America. And I was like, I can go back to corporate. I'm not burning those bridges, but I got to go try to do this thing on my own. And that was what I thought I was leaving. But then after a few years, I was like, oh crap, I'm in the same trap. I'm just here making a bunch of other people money, and I'm back to working my ass off for other people. If I'm going to work this hard, I might as well work for myself.
Yo, then Rob has a comment for you. Rob has a comment for you.
Where's he at? What'd I miss?
On your personal.
Oh, Rob says, hey, Platta, shut it. Let Marty talk. Yeah. That's a good idea. That's always a good idea.
I do think that was one of the hardest parts of you leaving Blue Skies and the tumultuous, place you had to leave it in, was because that is how you are motivated. You are motivated by your clients, by doing a good job for people, by making your place of employment a place people want to work, by, having a team that likes contributing. That's all the things that motivates you, not so much the dollars. And so when you were leaving, all those not burned bridges, but all those relationships took a dive.
Yeah.
And that weighed on you even more than like any financial piece of it.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. Part of the thing that drove the partnership apart was I went to my partners and said like, hey, I need to own my business. And Jai, for the same reason that you said, like, yeah, it was Dan's business and it felt like Dan's business. And all of our customers said that. And all of our employees said that. Like, those people were the important thing. It wasn't about the profit. It wasn't about the money. It was about, it's my business because it's all my people. Like, those customers are my people. Those employees are my people. And you're right. Like, that was the thing that kept me up all those nights was, how do I reckon? I feel like such a damn hypocrite. Like, loyalty is so important to me, but in order to like get back to who I am and be like loyal to myself, I have to like cut these ties. And they're not cut forever, but they're damaged. The rope is frayed. But it's only going to get worse the longer I stay here. And it was the detriment of like Platta's head down, working harder, and not picking it up and be like, oh shit, what am I doing here? Like, why am I doing all this? And people always like Gabe Afoylan challenged me on it multiple times. Michael Gregory challenged me on it multiple times. My parents challenged me on it multiple times. You challenged me on it 11 billion times. And I was like, no, these guys are good guys. This is great. This is mine. This is my thing. And that was just me like, no, I'm just going to keep working harder. I'm just going to go for it. That's me.
Yep, that is you.
Welcome to who you're married to.
Gonna say.
Yeah. No, we can. That's Ben and I when we go hunting. It's like, I'm going this way. No, I think we got to go this way. And then we'll just like either butt heads or go in totally different directions. We're like, no, this is how we got to do it. I'm going to do this thing.
I have two questions for you, but I can only remember one. You were saying,
Julie checking in said, proud to work with a good heart, concerned to clients and team.
Aww.
I'm proud to have you on the team for that reason.
You were saying when you got into maid service business, you thought it was going to be consistent cash flow, but like, oops, turns out it wasn't. And then I know some people get into other businesses, whether it's they move into lighting or they move from window washing to pressure washing, or and you always learn things after you get into the business. You're like, oops, should have known that actually maid service and pressure washing aren't the same clientele base, but we didn't know that until we got into the business. How do you think about learning some of those things before you decide to make the business investment? Or do you think the best way to learn it is by just doing what you think is going to work and then figuring it out?
I think, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I presented this in my last, I wrote the presentation on setting goals.
Yeah.
And one of them was on this saying that people love to do, which is like, your network is your net worth. And people say that and they're like, oh, who I hang out with and how much money they make is how much money I'm going to make. And so I like threw that up and I was like, no, like your network is your net worth, meaning the people you surround yourself with is where you learn these things. And if you surround yourself with the people that have learned these lessons, like, sure, maybe you save money and trouble, but you save so much peace of mind by hanging around smart people that have screwed up a lot and are thoughtful about it. That and that don't just give you like, don't do this, don't do that, but that actually like share experiences. And so I think we had some of that, but we didn't always listen.
Yeah.
And you won't always listen, right? Especially as entrepreneurs, we have a knack for being like, oh, you told me I can't, therefore here I go, right? Like that's just such a thing in our heads, and I'm totally that contrarian. But I think so much of it is who you surround yourself with and who you like, the lessons you can learn from everybody else. And truthfully, like it was Michael Gregory that ultimately convinced me to leave my former partnership, because he had said, and I just will never forget this, and I will keep passing this along to everybody that I talk to about partnerships. That, and first I'll start with Jesse McCoy, who after the fact, he's the dude I met in Arizona, bow hunting. He owns a detailing business and window tinting business. He said, hey, if you're going to get in a partnership, the threshold is you need to be able to trust that person to sleep with your wife with them both naked, and they're not going to have sex. That was his gauge of like, can you trust that person to be a business partner? I was like, that's pretty intense, man. It was right here on this here podcast, right here on Home Service Happy Hour. You only hear to hear, folks.
Yeah, I remember
it's hilarious. It's hilarious,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, that's some serious shit.
That's for real.
Yeah.
And maybe my judgment would have been different if somebody would have told me that a long time ago. But Michael had said way more, I don't even know what the right word is that I'm looking for, but less sexually is, I guess, one way to put it. Michael had said, because Michael and I, before I left Blue Skies, we were actually looking at how could we merge Click, Call, Sell, and Blue Skies together. We got the bookkeeping and the recruiting. He's got the marketing. Like, it is the ultimate trifecta. They all go together. Every home service business needs marketing and recruiting to grow, and bookkeeping to help, focus on what to do more of or less of. They are like the three growth engines of a home service business. So we were looking at how do we combine forces. And he said, well, why do you have these three partners? Like, if I combine with you, I'm really getting the three of them and a little bit of Dan. And again, I had to defend my spot because I was like, no, like, I'm the guy here. It's mine. And he's like, yeah, but it's not, because you only own 13% of this thing. I'm getting three strangers. And so what do I do with those three dudes? And I was like, I don't know, but you and I'll run it together. They're good dudes. Like, that was all I could say. And he's like, if we're going to have investors, we need, like, they need to bring, and we need to need their three things. They have to bring money, and we need to need it. Right? If we don't need their money, but they bring it, just still doesn't matter. And our businesses pay for themselves, so we don't really need investment per se. They need to bring skills that we could use, but they don't. Not that they're not skillful humans, but they don't have expertise in these spaces that would drive anything. And they need to bring relationships that push the business forward. And a little bit, right? A little bit, but it's like, not enough across the board that would be meaningful. And when he said that, I was like, oh crap. Like, we're talking about merging these things together. And he's like, yeah, I don't think it's a good fit because it's missing what we would need in partners. And then I had to go look in the mirror and be like, oh shit, but they're my partners and I'm in the same boat and I'm living with the same thing. And again, like, no judgment to them. They're really good dudes, but they're just investors trying to get a return off of Dan. And it's like, if anybody should get a return off of Dan, they're sitting right here, and they're hopefully asleep in those other rooms over there. But that was like the biggest punch in the gut was when Michael said that, because I went, oh shit, you're right. And here I am, just making money for other people again, like in the same trap with my head down, working hard. Anyway, we got a couple comments here that I got to hit. Jeremy Brooks said having a kid named Reggie is awesome. Jeremy, I like, if you're still out there, I don't know when this was a minute ago, like a half hour ago. It's Regina, named after my grandma, but we had Danny, then we had to go Reggie, and then we got a Crosby as number 3. Like, we had to end in the E sound, right?
He says Regina is named after his grandma, his great grandma Regina. In reality, she's named after Anna Kendrick in Pitch Perfect 2. We were sitting in the fish house watching Pitch Perfect 2 while I was pregnant with Reggie. And in the scene, in every scene, they call her a different name, Anna Kendrick's character.
Is it Keegan-Michael Key is like I think that's the guy, like the bald-headed comedian.
Grammy Award winner in the movie.
And he's the producer dude.
Her name is Becca, but in every scene, he calls her something else. And in one of the scenes, he calls her Reggie. And we looked at each other and we were like, let's name her Reggie. Like, that's a great girl name. And then we're like, oh, we'll just say it's named after his great grandma Regina. So then it's a family name.
But it fit. It justified it. It justified it. So it's the reg. Your dad's watching on 3 different places. Gives us a bunch of. Looks like we have way more viewers.
It's all about those metrics here in marketing.
Skip, we were talking about like whose business was it, right? Like from a vibe standpoint, he said it was definitely Dan's business. That why the tattoo was of Dan. For those of you that remember when we were at the huge convention, Bryn, who was our admin at the time, Bryn and Janelle got a Dan tat made. So like if you came to the Blue Skies booth that year, you got a Dan tat. And man, the places those tattoos ended up. It's probably not even safe to talk about it on the show. Rob says that Rob guy challenged you onto it too. Yeah, Rob was back there. He's digging in. He also said that network is better because I'm in it. Like way better. But Rob, you're right. And I've told Rob this before. Like my favorite thing about Rob is he tells you everything straight up, doesn't sugarcoat it, just goes like right at you. And damn it, don't we all need that? Like that's hard to do. Feedback is hard to give and it's hard to get, but I'd argue it's harder to give. And Rob tells it like it is. And there's so few people out there that do. I have such a freaking massive amount of respect for you, Rob. I love you, man. Like it's so valuable to have a good friend that tells it like it is and will tell you what's up. I really appreciate it. Skip says, so if you combine all 3, does it become lead, click, damn? I'm bringing that. The 3 of us do meet every Tuesday to talk about higher lead chill stuff. Yeah, we'll have to start shuffling some words around. But that's the best one that I can come up with off the top of my head. So, Rob says, so Anna Kendrick is a relative. Got it. Yeah, pretty much. Marty, 2 years of best damn bookkeeping.
Yeah.
When you, I don't remember. I don't know that I like, but before I said I was going to leave Blue Skies, did I tell you or did I ask you?
I honestly don't remember. It's all a blur, which makes for a very boring podcast episode.
I was like, I don't remember the catalyst. I mean, I remember talking to you about like, hey, I'm looking at like, can we merge with Michael and like, what would that look like? Yep. And I think I came back, like Michael and I went down to Nashville to meet with Dalkey and like, look at how we would do that. And we kind of left like, I don't think it makes sense. Like, it doesn't fit. And I don't remember. I remember it was that spring when I was like, I need to leave and I want to buy this thing, right? I tried to buy Blue Skies first. Like that was, again, in math, we should go. I have a spreadsheet of the math. I looked at the math and I won't say what I offered to pay them, but holy shit, I'm glad we didn't pay them that.
Holy shit.
And they like laughed at it. They wanted about twice as much as I offered. And I put an offer at like the max. And that would have been an awful deal for us. Like, holy shit. And I based it on like getting to where we were in 3 years and a little more. And we got there in about half that time. Which is like, this is a cheat code because once you've, like you said earlier, like once you've grown it, you like kind of know where you're going. So we kind of covered the Blue Skies time, but in the last 2 years from Dan's miserable dealing with lawyers to Dan starting a new business and what does this look like? And you, I'm going to say this about you in fairness to you. You were very frustrated when I was doing bookkeeping at Blue Skies. I'll say very frustrated. Like I was always working.
Always.
I was between having all the different businesses and on the weekends, I'm like bookkeeping on the couch.
I was
constantly working.
Most of the time.
Like constantly working.
Yes.
Everywhere. Tree stand, boat, couch.
Yes. Weekend, all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evenings.
Which
there's Dan on the couch on his laptop again.
I like the work.
You did. You liked the work.
But when I restarted Best Damn Bookkeeping, did you think that was what you were in for again for an extended period of time? And did it feel like that restarted for an extended period. I think I know I'm past that.
Yes.
Mostly because of Skip, and we have a freaking amazing team. So like they make my life way easier. So I don't have to do that every weekend and every day.
Yep.
And I mean, I remember like every night I was working every night.
Yep.
Forever.
Till midnight.
And so I don't have to do that. And I think I was intentional about not doing that. But like, what was your certainty or uncertainty level going into Best Damn Bookkeeping of like, well, here we go again. Like, gonna see Dan when I see him.
Yeah, I mean, I had the worst expectations because I felt like
that's what you're used
every
to.
2 years you were starting a new business, and every 2 years when you start a new business, you're starting over. And so yeah, you have to put every ounce in if you want to turn it into something and scale at the pace that you want to scale and grow. I think you've done a much better job this time of building a team that works well with you and understands how you work, compliments you. And so you've been more intelligent or intentional about setting your life up to be more than just work. Because there was a period of time where you weren't even like enjoying the trips you were going on, your fun trips, because you were so stressed about work.
Yeah. I remember a time when I was in Illinois and my St. Louis team was like all about to quit. And I'm like on a hunting trip during the rut, which is ultimately like my jam.
That's
like
why you work, is so that you can
week.
go on.
And I remember just
trips.
sitting out in tree stands, just stewing, like being miserable.
Yep.
That was rough.
And so I think you've realized this time around with your own business, and you can scale it at the pace you want to scale it. You're not relying. I mean, everybody's heard Dan talk about the purgatories of scaling.
Even you haven't had to sit through one of them.
But he knows where he is in that, and so I think you feel good about just where how to, when you have to get over that hurdle and when you don't have to get over that hurdle. And so I think you've just done a better job of setting up your business to work for you and with you and allow you to do your hobbies, which is why you own your own business in the first place.
Mike Maharis chimed in earlier and had said, like, which purgatory am I in? And I said, I'm in number 3. And the cool thing is, after having done this a number of times, and I have the luxury of watching hundreds of other businesses and watching what they're doing that's working and how they prioritize things. And I see who gets through them and I see who doesn't. And so many of them I can help get through them. But in our business, like I said, we're in purgatory number 3. We're like bumping up against $1 million, and it's always a people thing. And we know it's a people thing, and it's a process thing. So like we're working through a new CRM, and that's a huge investment, but it's like, there's no amount of money. I remember Skip was shopping them around for us. And he's like, man, I don't know if you're gonna like this one. It's expensive. And I was like, it's just going to pay for itself so fast. And then we realized like it passes through merchant fees and it basically pays for itself. And the clients can pay us with ACH and it saves everybody money. So it's such a win-win, but the confidence to be like, now's the right time to change this system. Now's the right time to hire this admin person. Now's the right time to like, I mean, I restarted interviewing account managers. Now we don't need one. But now's the right time to start, right? And so like you just start putting the wheels in motion a lot sooner. And it's fun when you feel like you get to call the shots of your business, because so often I felt like back in our Blue Skies days, the business just called the shots for me. But I remember you made a Facebook post one time in the winter, and I was up at 3 a.m. out driving on roads because it was snowing. And I like, I got to go see if it's safe out there.
The roads were safe for the maid service team to be out driving. I was like, this is bonkers. I mean, I appreciate how, cautious and careful you were for your team, but this is unsustainable.
It's not, but which it was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do.
And the roads were okay. And nobody went in a ditch that day. But like, I wanted to go make sure the plows were out and the roads were clear. And so I had to go see it for myself. But it's just like you said it earlier, it's a confidence of, as you build it, you can do the right things in the right order and the right steps, and you know when to pull the trigger. And so Maharis had said, which purgatory you're in, we're in number 3, but in many other previous businesses, we'd get stuck here.
Yep.
And we'd hang here for like 2 to 3 years. And now I feel like we're just going to blow right through this in no time, because we have the right people. We know what they need to be working on. We know what systems and processes we need. We're also at the phase, like, we're getting really confident in firing clients. And like, for all you guys out there, anybody running a business, you know exactly what I mean. If you're a client of mine, don't take this the wrong way. When you're small, you take anybody that will pay you. As you start growing, your employees' morale and efficiency is so much more important than that client. Like, we all know that, but it's really hard to do that. And it's really as you go through purgatory 3 that you start, like, as you get close to $1 million, you start really getting the confidence to fire clients. And there's just certain clients that aren't worth it. They're not worth it financially. They're not worth it emotionally. And we've been they can't pay you, right? Or they whatever the case is, they're not your best clients. And when you're smaller, you take them. When you're getting bigger, you have to like trim them out, because you can't scale a business with shitty employees. You can't scale a business with shitty clients. And so it all goes back to like once you've done it enough times, you just don't put up with shit, right? Like, you got places to go. You got people that want your help that you need to serve. You got to go get them. You got to go serve those people. You don't get stuck wasting your time serving the wrong people and spinning your wheels for too long, whether it's employees or clients. You move on and you go help the people that need to be helped and want to be helped and are willing to pay for the help. And I feel like I was always a slave to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was a slave to shitty employees. I remember I've talked about this many a time before, have had great employees that were great producers and really crappy morale culture people. And there was one specifically that we were supposed to head out of town. I think it was a Thursday afternoon or maybe a Friday afternoon. And there was an employee that was having a personal issue that I should have let go a long time before that, because he was a bad cultural fit. But I had to drive 2 hours across town and way south. And we had like a family trip planned, but it's waiting a day because Dan's doing small business owner stuff. And now we would never get to that spot, because that employee would have been fired months ago.
Yeah.
Not because they're a bad human, but because they're not going where we're going. And so, like, you just got to have the people on the bus that are going where you're going. I'm so much more diligent about that. It matters so much.
So the hindsight is always 20/20, right? And you can learn the things from hindsight and do them differently going forward. Are there things in your now that you think in the future you'll look back and say, oh, should have known?
No, because if I did know, there will be things.
Yeah.
But if I knew them now, we'd already be doing them.
That's fair.
Right? Like, if I knew, like, there can be uncertainties. Like, is this the right CRM? We might look back, Skip and I might look back at this 2 years ago and be like, can you remember that time we tried that CRM and it sucked and we spent so much time trying to integrate it and then we found out everything they promised, right? We don't know that yet. We're going to keep trying to integrate it. There's going to be marketing things we try. And then you're going to be like too busy with your job to help me and tell me what to do. And then I'm going to be like, well, we've screwed that. There goes 10 grand to like some marketing stuff that we totally screwed up. He commented when I was out driving in the snow. He said, Dan was doing donuts in the snow. Let's be honest. May have.
And it sounds like your CRM is going to be a good deal.
Skip said, after 3 weeks of sweating the costs of the new software, it took Dan 3 minutes to show me how it will pay for itself.
And
don't say that. I just started sleeping well again. Sorry, Skip. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And if it's not,
it sounds great.
It's totally fine. If it's not, it's totally fine. It's all part of it. What did I miss here? Rob said, she said what I said to Cole about proposing. It's about damn time in regards to starting a new business. Skip said, you had the playbook of what not to do and the bruises to prove it. I feel I've said this, like, I'll say it's a quote, but I probably say it different every time, which is I don't regret it. I'll just never do it again. In regards to the blue skies stuff, like that many employees, all those different locations spread out across the country, learned so much stuff that is so beneficial to me helping our clients now.
Absolutely.
And just me as a human and understanding all this, the stuff. And we all have so much to learn still. But damn it, I'll never do it again. I learned that much. I'm not doing that again, but I don't regret it. Like, yeah, maybe could have figured things out faster, but like I learned by doing.
Yep.
And I just go hard.
You live, you learn, you move forward.
Go hard at it. What did we miss, Marty? What didn't we cover?
I don't know. I definitely think I've blacked out a lot of it.
The life or just this podcast?
Both.
All right.
No, about just like how tough some of those times were. I joke, but when we had our first baby, so I graduated business school, had a baby.
Man, I can't believe we did this.
Bought a house. So we had a baby, bought a house, sold a house, all in the same week. The house we bought, so I wasn't working because I was in between business school and my job that I was starting. The house we bought, we gutted basically most of the house, all the flooring.
We didn't really live in it for about a year.
For a full year, we lived with my parents with a brand new baby. Like we came home from the hospital to my parents' house, lived there, raised our baby for the first year.
We should have done that with every kid. It was so helpful having
delightful.
Your parents. We were laughing earlier.
Dad, are you still there?
We were laughing earlier with Angela and JC because Angela, like on the podcast earlier today, Angela was telling me about how we need a home manager. And I said, Marty might. I like doing my tasks. If it's the pool or the lawn or the fence or the raking, like I could delegate that and hire out services, but I don't like when I can't get to it, but I really enjoy when I do. But I feel like it's most of the stuff you get stuck with where a home manager would come in handy. But also I wanted to point out, we have one. Her name is Darlene, and Marty's damn siblings had to go and have all these darn kids. And therefore our house manager is very obligated these days, but
she's busy with other people's babies. My nieces and nephews.
As crazy as our life was when we had Danny, she was the first kid out of you and your other 3 siblings. Now there's 78 kids running around, something like that, like plus or minus
6, 7,
8. Stop it with this 6, 7 shit. You and these kids. But in all reality, like, thank God we had your parents for that first year while we were doing all that stuff. We
ripped the house apart and like put it back together. Well, on Tuesday evenings, we would go work on the house.
That was about it.
That was about it. So that's why it took us a year. Had a baby. Then I started at 3M in the fall. That's when he quit Cargill and started at Blue Skies. And so in our first year of having a new baby, not having a house, flipping a house, each starting new jobs and like big different new jobs, it took me like 3 years to end a second baby. To like learn to love the house we were in, learn to embrace the careers we'd taken. Yeah. Embrace being a mom. I mean, it was really just like buckle up and get day to day done. You didn't stop too much to think about it, or I'd have a panic attack.
I remember driving back from my parents' house in the fall one time, and we were like on a hunting trip. And it might have been like right after Grandpa Vilas died or something. Like, no, because we were still in Brooklyn Park at that point. But I remember driving back. And I started tearing up, and you're like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't have words for it. I'm just feeling like life is changing so fast, and I can't take I don't know how to describe it. I just remember like we were like just getting on the highway and on a 3-hour drive, and there was something about like the nostalgia of being home in the fall and deer hunting, and like seeing my folks, but my folks are getting older and." Everything just kind of like hit me at once. And I just like broke down in the truck while I'm driving. I was like, I don't know. Here I am just crying, just driving and crying. Don't mind me. I'll be fine. Yeah. Hold on to the wheel if I get too teary-eyed. But that was like looking back again, I don't regret it at all.
No.
Cause like forged, like I have noted this on the podcast too, which is I look back at things I've been through and the challenges of my life, and I've had it pretty fucking easy. Like pretty is an understatement. I've had it ridiculously effing easy compared to so many people out there. I am living a life of luxury, down a path I get to choose, and I have the freedom to go choose it. And
you get to drink beer at work.
I'm working right now, and I'm having a tequila and whatever those lots. I think this is a citrus one. I did have a Busch Light, but this was, like I said earlier, it was the last beer in the fridge. But like it's still like that poured just like took it out of me. And I think that's good though. Like I think I had to manufacture the stress of like being overwhelmed. And I'm not a religious person. And I was like, we've got to go to church because I am in something I can't handle and I need the Lord's help. Like, I don't know what else to do, but I remember that like feeling like that took a weight off my shoulders. And I'm not religious. Like I'm not anti-religious. I'm not like an atheist, but that's not where I go for peace usually. And I remember I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do with myself. If this helps me feel better, I need to go here. Like I need to blame I need help. I need a bigger power in the world to like take this off of my shoulders. And either I have some pretty broad shoulders and I usually carry a lot, or I was just under a lot of stress because I couldn't carry it anymore. Like I just remember driving in that truck being like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just crying. And I don't cry. I'm not a crier. I don't cry, but here I am crying for no reason. Like there was no catalyst besides like emotions welling up. That was tough.
It was, yeah.
It was weird.
I blacked a lot of it out.
Thanks for blacking it out.
But here we are, unblacked out.
But going for it. No, Jai said, dude, I remember you shot me a message and it was Danny's birthday, I think, and you were stuck in the plane back when you were with them trying to put out fires everywhere. Yeah, it was again, I don't regret it. I learned so much that's valuable, but I will never do it again. Like one business at a time. And if there's like one lesson to take out of this from me is like do a thing and do it really well and stay like focused on your thing. If you're in business, you'll get scattered enough, but like don't try to geographically spread yourself out especially if you have little kids. Like that is not worth it. Grow in the place you're at. Don't try to grow everywhere all at once. Again, like if I didn't have business partners in it and the guilt of what I felt I owed them, been out of there so fast if it was just me. But in a partnership, like just when you're an employee, you feel like you owe it to somebody. You don't even know who the hell you owe it to, but you're like, I'm going to work hard for these other people. Because you just feel that like you feel that internal guilt of like, I signed up for this. This is my thing. I got to carry this torch. And when it's all yours, you just have more clarity. I think that's the best thing about Best Damn Bookkeeping is like, my clarity isn't that I owe anybody anything besides what do my employees want? What do my customers want? And how do I get out how do I create the space to get the hell out of their way? And it's a different mindset versus I need to go work harder so these people that I'm helping think I'm doing the right stuff, right? Like
so I get the highly coveted meets expectations at the end of the year.
Yeah. So I get a 3 out of 5 on my end of year job performance review. We haven't talked about the future of Best Damn Bookkeeping. And Dan, what are this is probably a conversation we should just have as married people, but since we're on a date night right now, if you're just tuning in, this is a date night, by the way. You all get to hang out and be a part of it and give us shit. What's Rob saying? Rob said, glad y'all are doing this. Oh, yeah, Jai's out there. Jai's putting the comments up. Yeah. 3M needs to allow beer. Yeah, they do. They do. What do you expect out of the future of this? What's your mindset for what you expect of me, what you expect of the company? What you expect a Skip and Robs? They keep chiming in. Like he put some stuff onto them too. But where do you? What's your? I mean, you've watched a lot of this journey, and a lot of it's been like bullshit on you. Not like done intentionally to you, but you've had to carry the weight of, like, you're the mom, so you naturally parent our kids about 80% to my 20%. That's not by design. That's just like because they like you more, and you accept their whining more than I do, so they naturally go your direction.
What's not to like?
Yeah, sure. But like, you've had to put up with a lot. Are you excited about where this is going? Are you like, whatever, Dan, do your thing? What's your? I feel like there's a buzz happening, but like maybe I bumped something. There was a buzz happening. Where do you think? Why? What's up?
Great question.
Here.
Put that back.
Maybe the fan on the computer, like the microphone is just sitting on top of the laptop. Cause there's some electronics, you guys know electronics.
Definitely, I think no on this one, Skip.
Marti should say a younger sibling for Crosby.
That's a hard pass.
That ship has
on
sailed.
That one.
Scott Peterson, my old coworker at Cargill, they had a kid after a vasectomy.
True.
Don't count me out.
Okay, well, I'm hard passing on that one. But I do think I'm excited for the future of Best Damn Bookkeeping. I think what you have going on is so true to you. It's so authentic. You love it. You're offering a service that people love, that is like life-changing for some customers. When you're able to help them, figure out how to be more profitable or grow more themselves, that is very much life-changing. I think, what you've got is super cool. My expectations are that you continue to make more money. I know.
We had a record month.
Boom.
Good job, team. And yeah, but not me.
Drop the mic.
The team did it. But the team, all the people that work for me had a record month last month.
I know Dan says that financial is not, we talked about that a lot tonight. He's not completely motivated by financials, but I am.
Hold on. I'm watching my phone every once in a while. Kirsten Davis, new to the party. Kirsten, you got to go to the Best Damn Bookkeeping Facebook page and comment there, because otherwise I can't put it on the screen. But she said, I'm here for that comment. And I'm pretty sure, Kirsten, if I'm not mistaken, it was that you do 80% of the parenting and Clay does 20. I'm guessing that's when you threw that comment in.
Marti, you need to stay in frame. You're out of the... Yeah, there you go.
Do you even podcast, bro?
No, I don't podcast, bro.
It's because Dan keeps pushing you aside.
Well, the microphone was over there, and I was trying to be an obnoxious idiot, so I was really...
There you go. That's better.
I think for Best Damn Bookkeeping, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what other markets you can do bookkeeping for, and how you can continue to grow in, pressure washing, landscaping, lighting, maid service. But, are there other markets where your service will be as needed, and kind of get to learn some new markets and new people? The network that you've built here, the network you've built, and the people you've met, and the people on this call, and the people that, we've traveled with, or that you get to travel with, I think is so cool. So continue to build that out. The only thing I'm not sure of is whether we should put Best Damn Bookkeeping all over our truck and park it in our driveway. I'm actually a hard no on that, because I don't want to put big Best Damn Bookkeeping.
How cool would that look?
For a car that parks outside our house at all times. It's like one big damn advertisement.
It is the
one
best
big damn billboard.
Is the best damn with a beer in it. Best damn advertisement.
I'm not sure our neighbors would appreciate the upskilling of.
I'm pretty sure when I hang a deer in the garage and the garage door's open, even little Gabby came over when Danny and I shot those turkeys. Even Gabby came over and was touching the snoods. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what a snood is if you ever shot a turkey. Even Gabby came over. The neighbors, they don't know how to kill stuff, but they're all
What
kind
does
of,
that have to do with best damn bookkeeping on the side of a truck?
because they're all like, this guy's kind of weird. Like, what's he got going on?
Yeah, but they know that already. They don't need a big green sign
No,
to know
but
that.
the expectation, it's not like we just moved into the neighborhood with this crazy ass truck. They're all like, hey, crazy ass neighbor Dan. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd expect out of that guy. It's on brand.
Oh, I'm more with Rob here. This one I would do. Just wrap the best damn ice house. That I would do. Done. Compromise. Marriage is best on compromises.
The value of wrapping the truck is purely economical, that it would save us like 20 grand in taxes. That's the value of wrapping the truck.
Yeah, I don't want a billboard in my yard. But otherwise,
You wouldn't take 20 grand to have a billboard in your yard?
Also, the future of best damn bookkeeping, I would like to go on more trips with you. I want to go to the Philippines, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, now you did
Let's
it.
go.
Oh, hold on. Let me get centered in the turkey fan.
What I'm not in for, though, is small planes. So I think I'm out on the Mexico trip.
You're out on Joe. Joe, did you hear that? She ain't coming to Mexico. It's just you and me chasing butts again, man.
But I want to come to some conventions and hang out. Mostly while you do all the work, I'll hang out and
Rob says, me too.
have a good time.
Me too. But Skip says, but then the ice house gets stored in the driveway. It doesn't. It's not big enough. Which one would be better on the side of the truck, BDB or the boob?
Or boob.
We could have a boob truck.
No, we're not having
Business
a boob
owner
truck.
outdoor badasses. Just wait till I start that one up. It's happening. It's happening. What do we miss?
I can imagine the logo Dennis thinking of. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
It's happening. It's happening. The logo will happen with the boob group. Dan and Skip can work, and Marty and I can hang out.
Done.
Hey, it's like Skip and I, we crank some workout.
I
and
know.
we crush it. We'd be having more fun than you guys would be having. That's all I'm saying.
Doubtful.
That's all I'm saying. Rob says, who would I room with?
Good point.
Well, you can always just stay in the fish house, in the best damn fish house. Boobs on the headlights and beer mugs on the taillights. I like where this is all headed. This is good stuff. This is right on par. No, it's been a super fun 2 years. I can't imagine had I not made the decision. Like I said, we're so much better off, and I'm so glad they didn't let me buy them out.
So,
it would have been awesome to buy them out.
One other
and
question
keep
for you,
everything
though.
together, but
how do you want your friends or myself? What's the best way to when you're being stubborn on something that you shouldn't be stubborn on? What's the best way for somebody to get your attention that you should actually stop being stubborn on something?
Give me an example, because I only am stubborn when I'm right.
Like, I shouldn't leave blue skies.
I don't know, because I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. Or I shouldn't
buy blue skies out for this price point.
I think enough questions, right? Like questions, and I think this kind of goes for all of us, but questions make you answer and think. And it can't be
telling.
Yeah, like if somebody tells me something, I'm going to do the opposite. That's just how I'm wired. If somebody questions, but their question is an attack, right? There's different types of questions. There's questions out of I'm generally curious of how you got here, and can you help me understand this, and can you show me that? I think those types of questions are yeah, here's where I'm coming from, versus a question that's why the hell would you do something like that, right? Like there's questions that are clearly an attack, and questions that are let's do this together, right? Like, let me support you and let me do this together. And so I think it's, if you're coming along and trying to help me steer the journey versus trying to detour my journey, if you try to get in my way, I'm be like, fuck you. I'm doing my thing.
I'm going where I was headed.
But if you're let me come along with you. Hey, by the way, when we're going down this path, can you help me understand where we're going here? And then I can talk it out and be like, hey, what? You said a thing earlier. Maybe we should try a little bit of this too. I think that's.
Can you give me an example where you've done that before?
No, but you didn't give me any time to think about it. Ben and I have done that hunting a couple times. Oh, Ben and I did that when we were bow hunting, and I shot the biggest buck on our wall. Where it was like, hey, that spot against the road, maybe we should go over there.
So you did that to Ben?
No.
Oh, he did that to you.
Yeah. He's like, maybe we should go over there. And I was like, no, man, I want to go over here. And then we like went over to this spot and set up. And he agreed with me because he had already shot a buck. And then we got there, we set up, and he's like, I don't know, man. There's a couple big bucks over there. Maybe we should go over there. Like, I'm coming along with you, but here, check out these big bucks over there. And then we're both like, we should probably go over there.
Good example.
But it's like, I need you to like come along with me and entertain where I think I'm going for a little bit. And then like, just like ask me questions, like help develop the idea.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
I like to forge a path. I don't like to follow other people's paths.
Yeah.
So like come along for a little bit and then question where we're actually going. like, hey, I'm here with you, but what's over here anyway? Oh, you know.
All right. We've been married 12 years. Now I got a new tool in my
what do you
tool
guys
belt.
think? Yeah, Rob. I like Rob. This is actually what Rob would say, but it would snap me out of it. Hey, Dan, don't be an idiot. Or, hey, Dan, stop being an idiot and listen to me. This one happened with both of us, and I've talked about this on the podcast a couple times, but if you have trouble communicating in your marriage, I have the solution. I am an awesome communicator. I'm awesome at this one, at noticing this part of communication. I'm not awesome at doing it, but I'm like your college professor. Like, here's the thing. I'm not good at it, but I'll teach you how to do it. I don't mean to knock my college professors. I had like the best professors in the world. I don't know. That was a bad example, but that's like a professor joke of like those that can't do teach, you know that joke. We were driving down to Janelle's house over Christmas.
Yes.
And Marti has a knack for starting a sentence with "and." So she's been having this conversation in her head, and then she pulls me in somewhere in the middle. I don't know if we're like a third into this conversation she's had in her head, halfway. We might be 9/10 of the way into the conversation in her head. This
is in contrast to Dan, who has his entire conversation out loud, whether anyone's listening or not, generally live.
Yeah, welcome to podcasting. But so Marti starts it with an and proceeds to like start talking. And I was like, wait, stop. I haven't heard anything you said. And she got really mad at me for this at the time, but I think this was a fair assessment, which is I was solving so many problems in my head, y'all. Like we were on the road, there's some music on, the kids are being quiet. I'm solving all the world's problems. I'm having arguments in my head that are never going to happen, but like I'm having conversations. They're just not out loud, but they're happening up here. And Marti just starts talking again, like starts with an and. And I'm not saying that's like a detriment to her because all of us do that. Like we're all doing something in our heads. And then there's a tipping point where we decide this has got to come out. Like this is so good. I'm bringing it. And so Marti said, this thing that's going on in my head is so good. I'm just bringing this baby out. And I'm sitting over there, but mine isn't so good yet. I'm still working on it. I'm not bringing it out yet. And so Marti starts talking, and I don't know if you were 10 seconds in, 30 seconds in, or like 5 minutes in. And I go, wait. I haven't heard anything you said. I've been having this conversation in my head, and you interrupted me. And she was very upset that I said she interrupted me. And I was like, no, like I truly, like you think I'm just sitting here staring at the road driving, but I'm never not having a conversation. That like my brain is always working. I can't turn it off. And I think that's most of us. Like we're not just staring like, oh, dashes on the left and thick lines on the right. Yep, the dashes are still on the left and the thick lines are on the right. Oh, what did you say? Like I'm solving all kinds of problems and having all kinds of arguments in my head. And Marti started talking and she interrupted the conversation that was happening. She just didn't know there was one. And so I said, I think we're on to something here. I think when you're about to start talking to me, you need to give me a signal. Like, I don't know what it is. I think you got to give me a sign that you're about to start talking to me so that it triggers me to know, like a Pavlovian reaction of like, oh, I'm supposed to start listening now. Give me a treat. You
I
gotta have
thought
like a
just
piece of
talking was
jerky.
that, but
You gotta give me like a piece.
I learned
Oh,
that was not the case.
You gotta go. If you had a beer and you went, I'd be like, what? And then I'd be like, I'm listening. Like that would
You
work,
got my attention.
That would work so good. Like, not every situation is correct.
I think
for that
I just
approach.
say now, hey, can I start talking, or are you in the middle of a conversation in your head?
You do.
Yeah.
And I think it works. I think it's like better. I think we communicate better.
Yeah.
But man, that was funny. For like later on, after you got over being mad at me for telling you that you interrupted me when I was being quiet. But you guys know what I mean. Like, we're all
when you're so deep in thought.
Yeah. And then it didn't take too long before you found yourself in the same situation, and I started talking, and you were like, oh, I get it. Like, I haven't been listening to you at all. Like, I heard you, but I didn't hear anything you said. I didn't like comprehend it. I was too busy working on what I was working on.
I was solving the other half of the world's problems.
I left half of them for you.
Thank
I thought
you.
I had solved most of them, but Rob says, Jairus, interject this. Rob, he's too busy having conversations in his head. Yeah, there it is. See, you got it up there. Rob says,
You
sometimes
spelled it wrong. Oh. No.
Which part?
No. I read it wrong.
Translation. Rob says sometimes it's a party in our heads. Other times it's a WWF brawl or WrestleMania. It is like, if you really step back, I mean, like dreams are the same way, right? Like when you just let your brain go, all of a sudden, sometimes you're like, what the hell am I thinking about? Like, and now that I've become so much more aware of it after Marty and I had that like epiphany of, oh, I'm having a conversation in my head. I'm so much more aware of when I'm having conversations in my head. And sometimes I'll stop and be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like and then I have a separate conversation in my head about what the fuck am I doing? But it usually starts with like, my brain goes off into this argument that I'm never going to have. And I think we're all kind of wired the same. Like we emotionally feel it, right? Like it changed, like we're having this conversation in our head, thinking about things, and it changes our mood and our emotions. And then the next person we interact with gets that, like it gets that version of us. And I want to give Marty kudos for this, because she's phenomenal at like, if that's happening to her, she'll be like, hey, I just got to let you know, I'm in a funky mood. She doesn't tell me about the conversation she was having in her head, but she will let me know in advance, not necessarily that she's having conversations in her head, but that she's in a crappy mood, so that when I try to interact with her and she's going to like take something out on me because she's been having arguments in her head, like she will let me know in advance. And I really appreciate that. I think that's very meaningful, because it sucks when somebody expresses their emotions at you instead of like, it's way better if they tell you their emotions and says, hey, look out for me. Here's how I'm feeling. It sucks when what you get is what they're feeling instead of them telling you about what they're feeling. Like that's easier to deal with. If they tell you about what they're feeling, you're like, oh, dang, that sucks. Can I help? When they bring out their feelings at you, you're like, listen, bitch, like, let me tell you. I don't tell you that.
No.
But that's what you're like. I said you're like that. You don't say that.
Your grandma's on the line.
Hi, Grandma Jane.
I got one for Marty. I sent a comment a minute ago. Like I was asking how was the event for her 3M? Like you reached out to me, right? For something like a project. Yeah. How'd that go?
So recently I asked Jai to help us clean up a video for my work at 3M. It went great. We had a national sales meeting down in Florida, and this is the one time I felt like I was actually more like Dan, where I was going on a trip to have a good time and work with coworkers and have a few cocktails on the beach. But yeah, we had a great meeting, and appreciate your help, Jai.
Yeah, sure.
If
If there's anything more you need, just don't hesitate to reach out and tell Dan to reach out to me.
Sounds good. Will do.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm too busy having arguments in my head. Hard to interrupt. I just saw our boy Jonathan Sutner was chiming in on my personal feed.
Hey.
He says, you guys crack me up and wrap your boat while you're at it.
Well, there's an idea. That would be okay. The boat has a garage spot. So if you want to wrap the boat, go for it.
It's just not a business asset because we don't take customers out on the boat.
Maybe you should.
But you have the permission then. You have the permission.
Heard it here.
Yeah.
Hey,
you heard it here on the show.
Let me know when you guys want to come up fishing. We'll go out fishing. We got the ice fishing trip.
We got the boat out once this summer. Maybe twice. Nope. I don't think I was out on it once.
Nope, just once with the kiddos.
So, yes, you should have some people up to go boating.
Boat
and
ownership.
Wrap the boat.
Boat ownership. This
and
is
then,
how boat
I
ownership
think wrapped
goes.
boats are super cool. You look like a competition boat then.
But a bookkeeping boat.
A bookkeeping boat. You'd probably find a lot of clients out on the lake.
Hey, when you start helping me with my social media strategy, a wrapped boat would be pretty cool for some social
media. We could
media.
do lots of filming.
Yes, please.
I'll be out there. We got to get
yes.
My green screen is right over here. We'll get the green screen out in the best damn boat and then get some.
Yes, please.
Damn boat. I love it.
Best damn boat. Yeah.
Boat.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna make some dynamite fishing and hunting.
All right.
Promo.
Guys, I'm jumping off. I need to get my kid.
You probably should go
I'll catch you later.
Family and work stuff. Thanks, Jai. You're the man.
Yeah.
Later, dude. John Sutner says, oh wait, Skip said fastest dollar sign on the lake. But it's a tiller drive, so you gotta hold your hat down with the Sutner says, I still have the pick of his out salmon fishing. Labor Day weekend. What was that salmon? 24 pounds, 25 pounds? Just a big hog.
Big one.
Just a hog. What do you got left in the tank, Marty? What's left?
I don't know. My bedtime was about an hour and a half ago, so
we already decided that you worked out this morning, so you're not working out tomorrow morning.
Correct.
You did. What were you drinking tonight? Was that a protein shake?
Yes. Chocolate protein shake with PB Fit 2 and half a banana.
Damn right. If you don't know, now you know. I was going to ask you about this. What? Maybe is this the whole last year you've been like really working out hard?
Since January.
Okay, so 10 months.
Yeah.
I feel like, was that it? I feel like you've been at it for a while. But anyway.
4 times a week at 5 a.m. since January.
Okay.
Before that, a little less.
I oftentimes, especially like this isn't just exclusive to small business owners, obviously, but small business owners talk a lot about fitness and like exercise to like clear your mind and get your mind right and whatever else. But like you need to do that in any job, in any capacity, especially as you get older. I think it's so important. Do you feel like, and you and I have talked about this because a lot of times we go running, especially in the summers, we'd run outside together, like, especially since COVID, because we were both working from home a lot more. So we'd like go out for runs. And we talked a lot about the confidence it would give and just like the mind clarity and like the taking a break. And just like, there were multiple things that you would feel better about. Now you're like, and you never used to be a morning person.
Never.
You were the least morningest, more like whatever the opposite
until
of
the last minute.
Yeah. And then stress and rush and crank. Now you're like 5 a.m. You don't even hit the snooze. You used to hit the snooze
6 times.
as many times as you could possibly get away with.
As many as I could.
And there were times where I'd like wake you up and be like, oh shit, I turned my alarm off by accident because you were so conditioned to hit the snooze. Now you're like, alarm is set, up. And I hit the snooze once, but I can't fall back asleep because you're milling around, which I think is actually great. That's not a discouragement. Please keep it up so that I actually get my ass up. Do you, since you've been on that kick and like switching to morning and like aggressively working out in the mornings, have you noticed you're more productive, you're happier, you're more confident? Like what are the side effects of having that morning workout routine? Because like maybe before we got married and we were like doing spin classes and stuff at like 4:45 a.m. like we were getting up early. But besides that, I don't know that we've ever been morning workout people.
No.
But you're a morning workout person now. And I've always been the morning person, but now you're like getting up before me and getting twice as much done. It's a change. It's a flip.
Yes. And I think the beauty of it is when you get your workout in at 5 a.m. or before your work day starts, it's done, right? You can confidently have crossed something off the list before your day really gets started. And I think that definitely sets me up for like, I've already accomplished something before I even get to my desk. So it's not like, oh, I've got to start climbing the hill when I get to my desk. It's no, the hill's already half climbed. Let's just keep on
You got
chugging.
momentum.
And it's also just one less thing weighing on you to do when you get home after work, especially now since going to the office 4 days a week. To come home, do dinner, kids' activities, kids' bedtime, and then think about working out, that it would never happen.
It's impossible. My dad used to do it. I would hear my dad running on the treadmill, like while I was trying to fall asleep when I was a kid. I'd hear him down there. I mean, you see my dad. Yeah. He runs like a Clydesdale. Just it's like you think there's a polar bear coming down on you. And he was always, our workout room was below my bedroom. So I'd go to bed. Like people talk about white noise and stuff helps them fall asleep. My white noise was just like.
I think your kid's white noise is going to be you on the podcast.
There goes Dad.
They're going to be telling the
just
story when I would fall asleep. I'd fall asleep to my dad yapping in the other room. He talked like a Clydesdale.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Danny comes in here a lot. I think Danny's shown up on the last 3 episodes.
Oh, well, like she must have gone to bed tonight.
When you're not here, she comes in and like puts the headphones on for a minute, and I have to kick her out.
Hangs out. Well, she's your little mini me, so
she is. Saw a big buck last night. Sutner just threw in here. I saw. Thanks for letting me hang out. Where to go? Thanks for letting me hang out with you while I'm icing my knee from training for some elk hunting in 2 weeks in New Mexico. Heck yeah, man. Have fun.
Good luck.
How the heck did you draw a tag for elk hunting in New Mexico? That's a hard draw. Are you archery hunting? Are you rifle hunting? It's probably rifle in 2 weeks. I'm guessing. That's a badass tag draw, Suts. I'm jealous. Take care of that knee though.
Yeah. I was trying to think if I answered your last question.
I don't remember what the hell my last question was.
I just like right now I'm geeking out over getting stronger. Like when I have to buy new dumbbells, like that's fun.
We got a lot of dumbbells, you guys. If anybody out there needs to come lift some weights, you just got to get here at like 5:15. Just get over here at 5:15. We got all the weights. You can lift them. We just need a mirror so you can look at yourself to be like, ooh, look how cool I look while I lift these weights.
Yeah.
You did say you want to get a mirror for the wall.
I do.
So you can look at how cool you look.
Well, it's for form, right? When you're lifting light weights all the time, your form doesn't matter as much. But as you start to lift heavier weights, you're like, shit, I gotta get the
extra
form
cool.
right.
Yeah,
or I'll get hurt cool. like you.
I wasn't looking cool.
Was your form good?
Dude, I got such good form. Wait, which time?
I don't know.
I was pulling my bow back yesterday. That's a different. Maybe I need do you have a weight? Like a weight when I do this?
Maybe.
It was putting my bow back in. I was letting down on the dough.
Oh man.
That's when my shoulder tweaked.
Shucks.
I guess I gotta get up and lift again. Oh, my muscles are tight.
What?
Sutner's bro lives out there. He's the pack mule. Sutner, that was me last year. I went out. My buddy Ben drew Arizona. And we kind of had a deal, like we've both been putting in for Arizona. And we said, like, whoever draws, the other one's going, and they're the caller and they're the carrier. And he drew first. So I was out there for 16 days, calling and carrying stuff. We had a bull bugling, like coming in at 45 yards and just never. There was a shot he could have taken. It wouldn't have been the best shot in the world. But, like, man, a bull bugling in your face like that, coming right at you, that was intense. For some people, it is Matthew McConaughey on the Calm app. For business owners, it's listening to Dan on the podcast.
My favorite right now is the Sleepy Bookshelf, where you can listen to the author very slowly reads different novels, like old classics. And so you can, read an old classic, and every episode they retell what you missed the last episode. So if you fall asleep in the first 30 seconds like I do, you can still go ahead to the next chapter and they recap it.
I mean, like I said earlier, you are a professional
So you
sleeper.
can get through a whole classic novel in like a bunch of 30-second falling asleep periods.
Why don't you start a podcast and just teach people how to fall asleep on your podcast?
Close your eyes and fall asleep.
Damn, that sounds like me giving golf lessons. Like, oh, you're slicing it? Yeah,
don't slice it.
Try hitting it straighter. Yeah, because your ball's going off to the right. You just gotta hit it straight.
Or you listen to Dan watch Packers podcasts on YouTube.
I do. it's either bow hunting, depends on the season. There's some, like this time of year, it's a lot of bow hunting stuff. As we get into the spring, it turns into open water fishing stuff. And then in the summer, late spring, it's what are the Packers doing? And then this time of year, it's alternating Packer breakdowns. Bow
Puts
hunting.
me right to sleep.
That'll do it.
Any of the above.
That'll do it. Sarah needs lessons from you. See, she said it takes hours.
Sarah,
for
try
her to
the sleepy bookshelf.
Sleepy bookshelf, Sarah. That's it. If we did one good thing on this podcast, it's the sleepy bookshelf. You heard it here first.
They can be your new sponsor.
Brought to you by brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. And we got partners. We got Live Switch. If you're not using Live Switch for your sales, you're crazy. It's the best thing out there. Unique Genius. All of our bookkeepers at Best Damn Bookkeeping come from Unique Genius, virtual assistant, strategic partner company. Click, call, sell for all your marketing needs. Hire, lead, chill for all your recruit needs. We got it all covered. If you're a home service business, Andy Mashur says, you guys never sleep. No, not true. Marty, we just went over this. She's the best sleeper, and I'm the second best. And it's probably because I get up early enough and stay up late enough that, well, Andy, you get the hell out of here, Andy. I watched you this summer. You were sleeping like a half hour a day. You had like 2 massive growing businesses, and you had a newborn baby, and you're trying to do nighttime projects and then run a residential business during the day. Get out of here with you guys never sleep. You guys. Sarah says, Skip, don't lie. It takes you 15 seconds to fall asleep. Skip said me too. Hey, just gotta have that clear, just like a couple beers helps, by the way. That helps me.
Doesn't help me. Makes the room spin a little bit.
I'm a professional.
You are a professional.
What can I say? Okay, I wanted to talk about the workout thing because look at this gal. If she had a short sleeve shirt on, her biceps would knock the microphone off of this freaking desk.
All right. Don't over exaggerate.
These babies are pipes. I mean, they're actually like she's ripped, which is awesome and it's sexy. You're hot. Good job.
Thank you.
Skip says 12-hour work days make sleepy time easy. And Jai Guy. How could you forget Jai Guy? Got Jai for the podcast needs. Check out Adonai Productions. Jai, every time I go live on the radio show, I share it to your Facebook page. Should I share this one there too? I usually don't share, I don't do click, call, sell or Adonai Productions when I do the late night show. Do you want me to? Should I do it? Should I go there? I'm usually more of a ask for forgiveness, not permission. You know what I mean? I
sure do.
So, but maybe I changed my
tune. It works.
Yeah, serves me well. Now it's all good. I think we got it all. I think we covered it. Did you think we were going to talk for 2 hours?
Did not.
That was a 2-hour date. How cool is that?
Fantastic.
Date night.
Thank you all for joining us on our date night.
That was so fun. That was a great date night. All right. Let's wrap this baby up. You guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn yourself some pride. We got guests lined up like week after week after week. It's going to be a super fun fall. Plenty of hunting stories. Plenty of radio shows recapping hunting stories and late night podcasts with cool guests. Not as cool as Marty. That was badass. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. All right. Peace out, guys.